الذين ينقضون عهد الله من بعد ميثاقه ويقطعون ما أمر الله به أن يوصل ويفسدون في الأرض أولئك هم الخاسرون.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم سيدنا محمد مصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Dear viewers, I greet us in the best mood of greeting by saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for spreading our life to witness this year's Ramadan. May He grant us the bed of deeds in it, accept it from us as ibadah, accept all our dua, and above all, make it a means to rejuvenate ourselves pending another Ramadan. What we'll be reminding ourselves with today is spending in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are all endowed with different abilities, and we shall be accountable for those abilities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. We all have different powers. To spend means to give out of what you are endowed with, be it material, be it intelligence, be it idea or knowledge, be it your physical strength. We are all endowed with one thing or the other. So, spending in the cause of Allah is part of the descriptions of the believers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addressing us in Quran chapter 8 verse 3. He says, Alladina yukimuna salat wa mimma razaqnahum yunfikun. They are those who perform a salat and spend out of what we have given to them, what we have provided for them. In describing believing and doing righteous deeds, He told us in Surah Al-Baqarah verse 177 that righteousness is not that you turn your face to the east or the west, but righteousness is that you provide out of what Allah has given you. Righteousness starts with believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the last day, the angels, and the revealed books, the prophet, and give out of your wealth, in spite of the fact that you need them, to your kinsfolk, the orphans, the poor, the wayfarer, those who ask, those who do not ask, and so on and so forth. So, it is very important. And in describing it too, in Quran chapter 73, Al-Ihsan verse 8, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, those who give out of what we have given them, despite the fact that they are in need of it. So spending is part of our faith, is part and parcel of our Islam. And of course, the early Muslims understand this very well. Each time Prophet Salam calls out to his companions, aid the cause of Allah. Remember very well, there was an expedition, Prophet Salam said everybody should gather whatever they have. Umar radiallahu anhu was competing with Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and I will bring half of what I had. And Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu ended up bringing everything. I said, no, I don't think I can beat this man at the end of this. So spending in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was well understood by the companions. And it is because of that that we are today having what we have as our Islam. So anytime they are asked to gather anything because of Allah, you see them responding without hesitating. Even those who don't have will look for a means to get something so that they can equally participate. So it's not a matter of I'm wealthy or no, it's because I don't have and things like that. So it is very important. They did this to take care of the needy, the widows, the orphans in their midst. If you remember very well, the story of Uthmani well came into limelight some months ago. Uthman radiallahu anhu bought this well because the well belongs to a particular Jew who makes the needy in his environment to pay for water all the time. So the man wanted to buy the well, said, no, I'm not selling it. So one said, okay, let me have a share. You you sell it on a day, then the other day, my own share, people will fetch water freely. And it came to a time when people were not fetching water the day you is selling water. Eventually, he was forced to sell the well to Uthman. The well is still of use today. So we can imagine the level of benefit that will be going to Uthman radiallahu anhu in his grave. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower his mercy on him and those of his other companions. So, we should know this wealth are meant to be spent. Wealth are not meant to be hoarded. They are meant to be spent. Prophet said, O son of Adam, spend in your wealth, it is good for you. And do not block it. That means do not hoard it. It is bad for you. And the wealth according to the needy cannot be reproached. So don't send away those who are in need of faith because you are just a custodian. Spend first on your family and dependents, and the raised hand is better than the lower hand. The hand that gives is better than the hand that takes. So it means that Islam encourages us all to spend, and of course to spend on our family. We can see that the wealth itself is a trial on its own, and that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, Al-hakum mutakatur atazulutum makabir. You keep hoarding, you keep counting, you keep hoarding, you keep counting, until the wealth is of no use anymore. So the rich are a kind of trial for the poor, and the poor themselves are trials for the rich, because you have to spend out of what you have. So both the giver and the taker, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that we have made some of you trials for others. Will you have patience? For Allah is the one who sees all things. So it is very important, so that we don't get tired of those who are asking us. At the same time, we should look out for those who don't even have and are not even ready to ask. There are quite a number of them in our community. So it is very important. Out of the wealth that we have, which one exactly is ours? We need to ask. Because obviously, everything that we have is not ours. Alas, the Prophet said, man will say, my wealth, my wealth, my wealth. Although his wealth is his food or drinks that he consumes and he finishes. The clothes that he wears and got torn, that is his wealth. And of course, the one that he gave to others and store for the hereafter. Any other thing after this, it means it has to be left for the people. That goes into heirs. That at the end of the day, when he dies, it goes into distribution for the other family members, which obviously is not for him. It means that the one we consume eating and drinking without excesses, the cloth that we wear and is torn, that nobody can wear it again, or the one we spend in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's face, is that which belongs to us of our wealth. So it is very important that we should understand this, that we need to spend more on the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our mother Aisha radiallahu anha quoted an hadith saying that there was a day they slaughtered a goat, and they kept on distributing and distributing and distributing until only the shoulder piece is left. When the Prophet said, okay, what is left of this meat? They said, only the shoulder piece. The Prophet says, that which you have given out is that which remains with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is the benefit of spending? When we are spending, we should understand that it creates a lot of stability in the society. And of course, it improves our security. Where the poor knows that the rich will take care of them. They need not take laws into their own hands and want to take from the rich by all means that they can get. They will not be in any way harbor hatred or rancor against the rich man in their environment. Invariably, they may even turn out to be his protector, because they know, of course, he's a good man to us in our society. And of course, it improves the stability, creates stability in the society itself. This environment will be more stable, and there will be more rest of mind among the Muslims. The benefit is more to the giver. It's not even to the person that it's taking. So invariably, Islam does not want us to see as if I'm giving out to benefit somebody. We are only benefiting ourselves, because it leads to forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is a means of getting admission into paradise. It wards off evil and help and guarantees help from Allah and victory. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ala adulukum ala tijaratin tunjikum min adhabin alim tu'minuna billahi wa rasulihi wa tujahiduna fi sabilillahi bi amwalikum wa anfusikum dhalikum khairul lakum in kuntum ta'lamun yaghfir lakum dhunubakum. Allah will forgive us our sin. وَيُدْخِلُنَا جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي مِن تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ, and will admit us into Jannah. So this we know that it's more beneficial to the person that is giving out.
لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا مما تحبون وما تنفقوا من شيء فإن الله به عليم.
And of course, Allah made us realize that in Allah ishtara minal mu'minin anfusahum wa amwalahum bi'anna jannah. Allah says we have purchased, we have exchanged with the believers his wealth and his life in exchange for paradise. So, if we're exchanging it for paradise, why are we hoarding it? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in Quran chapter 34 verse 39, and whatever you spend for good, He replaces it. And Allah is the best of provider. It means that whoever spends, it doesn't diminish your wealth. It rather increases the wealth. It doesn't diminish it, doesn't reduce it. And that's why Allah says, if you loan to Allah a beautiful loan, He will double it for you. And He will grant you forgiveness from Allah, which is most ready to appreciate. So, in Surah Al-Taghabun, that's verse 17 to 18. So it's invariably, my dear brothers and sisters, please watching at home, if we loan to Allah a goodly loan, He will double it for us. What is more guarantee or satisfying than the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It is of the benefit in the hereafter, in the afterlives. The Prophet ﷺ told us, when a man dies, 3 of his properties follow him to the grave. And of course, he will lose everything except 3 things. And that is continuous charity that he has done for the environment, either contributing to make a borehole or well in your environment where people fetch water freely, or you contributed in building a mosque, or you participated in renovating a school, something that, or a hospital, something that the public can benefit from, and continuously, or knowledge from which other people benefit, or the virtuous child that continuously pray for his or her parents. So we should be cautious. Caution in the points in the fact that spending that can be beneficial if it is done with one, sincerity, with a class, for Allah alone. So we should have a very good intention. We should have a very, very good intention. We should not expect thank you from people. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that can reward us. It should be better done secretly. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says it is better for the hands, the kind of charity, the Prophet said the kind of charity that is best is that which the right hand gives and the left hand does not know. So giving charity or spending for somebody, assisting an orphan or a widow, and we go about telling people about it. Or the tradition in our environment where people want a loud noise to be made anytime they spend money. So and so have brought so and so amount to contribute to the building of this mosque. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enrich his purse. It's not necessary. We are spending for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. We should avoid show off. Don't forget the hadith of Prophet Salam that said 3 men will be raised up on the day of Qiyamah. One of them is the wealthy person. Allah will ask, the wealth we gave you, how did you spend it? Say, I spend it in your cause. And we told you are a liar. You spend it for people to know that you are a philanthropist. And people have said so. And you've gotten your reward in the world. They will drag him to hellfire. This same thing will come a mujahid, a fighter that claims to be in the cause of Allah. For what reason did you fight? They say, because of you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and so I got killed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, no, you are a liar. You got killed. You were fighting because people should say, oh, he's a very brave person. He's a very bold person. And so on and so forth. And people have said that. You've gotten your reward. So also the scholar will be brought, the knowledgeable man, and you'll be asked as well. So you acquire knowledge. How did you spend it? I use it in teaching people your words for your sake and life. You say, no, you did it and for the sake of people, for them to say, he's a very knowledgeable person. And so you've been rewarded in the world, and today the reward is hellfire. We should avoid show off, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not just throw away all that we have done. So in conclusion, we should realize that we came with nothing and we shall go with nothing. Man was born with an empty hand, and when we are going, we are not going to take a dinar, a dirham, a pound sterling, or whatever with us. We are not, because of course we made them here and we shall leave them here. So we should spend of what we have that is good. It is not spending because of Allah. You bring out things, items that are rotten, things that are no longer useful, and you now ask people, since you feel disgusting by yourself, not to use. And you expect people to come and use them, or to come and take them, and at the same time you want them to be grateful for it. Allah SWT says, the Prophet says, in Allah tayyib, Allah is pure, and all that He takes is what is pure. So we should endeavor to avoid spending from haram. And invariably it means that we should avoid acquiring haram wealth and then thinking of spending it in the cause of Allah, and then thinking that such will purify the wealth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not take what is not pure from us. So we should spend from that which is pure, from that which is good, which is give out of what we have that is good, what we are even in need of. And out, because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeking His pleasure, seeking His face, seeking His rahmah, we want to give them out to others. It's not that we are not in need. It's not like those things that we are not in need of. We shouldn't even acquire beyond what we are in need of if we continuously give. Then we should know that death is very near. We should not postpone spending in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When Allah is addressing us in Quran chapter 63 verse 10, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that we should be careful of that, postponing our spending, and know that death is coming. So that it wouldn't come at such a time and say, please give me opportunity to go back, so that I can at least go and do some act of charity. So this is the month of spending. This is the month in which the Prophet was described to have spent most, to have given most in charity. Let us spend in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cause, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will replenish our purse. Let us use this month to train ourselves. There are so many means of spending in this particular month. We have the needy, those who cannot even afford meals to take sahur, those who cannot even afford what they will need to take iftar, and that is the essence of our zakat al-fitr at the end of the fasting. The mosque around our area that has no water, the one that has his wall dilapidating, we can even join our hands together and renovate such mosque in our community. Look for communities around you that are lacking in water provision. We can spend in that cause. There are series of programs on TV and radio in the month of Ramadan. But once Ramadan goes, Muslims disappears from the air. It's not supposed to be an annual thing. People should hear about Islam, listen to things, the beautiful aspect of Islam. Everything about Islam is beautiful. They should listen to it regularly so that they can remove all those misgivings they have against Islam in their heart. Let this kind of programs continue, and it will only continue if we are ready to support such causes. Then let us engage in Sadaqah Jariyah before our time is up. Of course, we all know death is very near. Only Allah knows the time for each and every one of us. We should spend and stuff ourselves things that will meet with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in good terms. At the same time, rather than spending lavishly on remembering our fathers that are dead, putting up all sort of food and drinks, and expending those things, let us continue with sadaqah for them. Those are the things that meet them in their grave. Not the food and drinks that we share to people. Not at all the food and drinks that we share to people. Look for a primary school around your area. That's how the dilapidated wall. The amount of money you want to use it to plaster that school. Or go to the hospital, ones that has no bed, those that has no fan, put them there in the memory of your beloved parents, father or mother, and things like that. The mosque around your area, remote areas that has no water, those are continuous charity that will continue to benefit the dead. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us one of those who hear His words and, of course, make the best use of them. May He continue to grant us the spirit of understanding His religion and putting them into practice. May He count us among those who will put the practices of Islam in our daily lives, so that people can see the beauty of our religion. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the remaining parts of Ramadan in good faith and sound health, and accept all that we do as an act of ibadah. أقول قولي هذا استغفر الله لكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
That is for Deen al-Islam, religion with Allah since time began. That is for dhikr, remembering Allah, and Ra is for the month of Ramadan. Oh, Ramadan. Za is for zakah, to cure our greed, when we give our money to those in need. Sa is for salamun alaykum, peace be with you, wa alaykum salam.